Welcome to this special edition episode where I'm just going to make one item. It's a dessert, or it could be a breakfast. Today I'm trying to use all those wonderful squash for the fall. So I am making zucchini nut bread with pineapple. I know a lot of people will make zucchini bread with nuts, without nuts. I want to put a twist on it. I thought the pineapple might add a little bit of juiciness and a little bit of flavor, a little bit of brightness to the bread. So I'm going to give it a try. I've never tried this before. Hopefully this will be a favorite for years to come. In case you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Molly. I live in Central Ohio. I don't make any money on this. I have a full-time job aside from this. I just love cooking. I'm always trying to get healthier, lose weight, and I love to cook. So I thought, why not have some fun, make some videos, trying out new recipes, and I always put a healthy spin on them. I take recipes and I try to either trim them down a little or somehow reduce the sodium, reduce the sugar content. I don't really cook too much with oil. Sometimes I'll drizzle olive oil. I use egg whites. I don't use red meat, but it's a personal preference. Any of my recipes that you see, you could substitute hamburger. Just try to, if you're going to try to do it lean, follow along, try to cut corners a little bit with some kind of fat, calories, that type of thing. So if you've seen my videos, welcome back. I'm glad that you're here, regardless of if you're new or if you just stumbled upon my channel. Welcome to my home, welcome to my kitchen. I'm glad that you're here. And the recipe today, let's go ahead and get started. I already started because I wanted to already have it mixed up so you didn't have to watch me stir for 5 minutes. A little shortcut that I use, I always take the wet ingredients. In this case, I actually took 2 zucchini, about medium size. I chopped the ends off and I put them in the Vitamix. You might be able to do this with most blenders. And then I reserved a little bit of the pineapple juice. That's what we're going to use for the glaze. It's just going to be a simple glaze with powdered sugar and a little bit of pineapple juice. So aside from that, I just went ahead and poured a whole can. This is about a 20-ounce can. If you have a smaller one, that's okay. And I also added 1 cup of almond milk, unsweetened, and a half of a cup of egg whites. Oh yes, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. So I blended this up to where it was still a little slightly chunky. And then I put 3 cups of whole wheat flour in here. And for the spices, I have a half teaspoon of cloves, half teaspoon of allspice, and a half teaspoon of nutmeg. I also added 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So the last thing I wanted to talk about that we're going to add in here is sugar. Now I noticed it really, when I used regular sugar, I used Chronometer. I count macros right now, but I have counted points with Weight Watchers before, and I believe in that system. The free foods, and I'm not, some Weight Watchers programs work great for people. For me, the free foods with all of the plans, all 3 plans, were just too much, and I just would overeat. So I'm trying macros. I've been kind of successful, at least maintaining my weight, losing a few pounds here and there. So what I would recommend, if you can, instead of either cut back, I'm using a whole cup of Lakanto monk fruit sweetened sugar. And as you can see, it's just regular granulated sugar. I mean, but it's got only 4 carbs per 1 teaspoon, 0 calories, 0 fat. So just just something to consider, because I am putting a whole cup. If you use regular sugar, it's up to you, but you might want to back it off to maybe a half cup. Give that a try. So I'm going to incorporate this. And the last thing I'll do after I incorporate this is add, these are optional, but I'm going to add a half a cup of walnuts and a half a cup of raisins. Again, optional. And you want to go ahead and get this stirred up, really incorporated, and then you would add the nuts and the raisins. And this looks like a lot of batter. You could make this recipe in half. I'm actually using 2 bread pans, 2 bread loaves, just standard bread loaves, because I want to try to get at least 8 servings in each one. If I do that, I might be able to get the calories down below 150 a piece, even with the glaze. So I'm you got to experiment and see how many, try to get as many servings as you can, but still enjoy the food. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this incorporated. Looks pretty good. And I'm gonna add again, that's a half a cup of walnuts and a half a cup of raisins. It looks like it's gonna make a good bit too. It looks like the pans are getting like at least halfway, maybe more than halfway full. So that's a good sign, because it will rise a little bit. The main thing though is to try to make the pans even, because you want the servings to try to be as even as possible if you're trying to really count and figure out how many calories and fat and carbs and protein. And you could actually, if you wanted to get some extra protein, you could add a lot of protein powder to this. It's up to you. I haven't experimented with that, but certainly would be a good idea. I will show you what this looks like. I have the oven preheated to 375. I'm assuming it's going to bake anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. Because there's 2 of them, I'll have to wait and see and do the toothpick test in the middle. So I'll have you come back and I will show you what they look like, and we'll make the glaze. And now we're going to create the glaze that's going to go over the bread. So I'm going to start with, remember I reserved some of the pineapple juice. You just don't want to use too much of it. I'm just going to try to get by with 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. And you want to just barely splash a little of the pineapple and then stir it, because you're wanting this to be a glaze, so you still want it to be pretty thick. Less liquid is better with this, but I think it could use just a little bit more. Just add little bits at a time. And it smells so good. It's like sugary pineapple. You want it to be the consistency where it's pretty thick. Okay, they've cooled off enough to where I'm going to go ahead and, remember you're using 1/2 cup total, and whatever pineapple juice you needed to make the glaze, just where it's just runny, but still pretty thick. And remember, do half and half. And I'd recommend, you might need a spatula for this. That way you can get all of it out. So you're just going to pour half the glaze on each one, and that's the bread that's been cooled. The bread looks like after I glazed it. I think I'm going to try to get about 8 servings out of each one. And the best way is just cut it in half, then cut it in half. I'll see how many servings. The more servings you can get, of course, the lower the calories and carbs and fat. I just wanted to thank you for spending your time with me, watching my crazy cooking videos. Please comment down below. Let me know any other special additions you would like. Would you like me to do an occasional sweet or savory, or is there a certain type of cuisine? Let me know what you'd like to see, because I'm just brainstorming, and whatever we want to eat for the week or for the day, that's what you see me cooking on this channel. So I would love to hear your suggestions, see if you're trying these recipes. Don't forget to subscribe, like it if you like it, And I just hope that you are having fun, enjoying yourself, cooking like I am, and enjoying yourself watching these videos. So thanks for your time, and I'll see you next time.